this might take a while.
You don't want to be here when it falls off?
No, not really. That's on record. Andy said something is nice.
Test. Drive shaft, center support.
The shaft?
Shaft. We're rolling in style now.
I can't believe you bought a limo just for the wheels.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to DC MotorWerks. We are back with episode 2 of the S-Class Pullman, or S-Class Limo, and we are going to talk about everything wrong with the limo today, so have a seat, because this might take a while. First couple problems have already presented ourselves. The soft close is not quite working on that door, and as you can see, we do not have a bunch of people in the back, but the air suspension is pretty well collapsed in the back once this car sits for about a day or two. So I know y'all haven't really seen this in the nicer weather. It is quite cold here in Georgia today, and that's why I'm wearing my new DC MotorWerks hoodie. So if you want one of our new hoodies, just drop us a line below. We are working on our merch page, so that'll be coming soon, and I think we're gonna do one with a big logo across it, but let us know what you want. Back in the sunlight here so you can see just how tired the paint is on the hood here that we talked about in the previous video, and the bumper's looking a little tired too. Look, if you see here, there's little chunks of it peeling off. I don't know why it looks like green under there, but we're gonna let that go for now. I know we're gonna have to polish up these headlights, as I said in the last video. It was very difficult to see at night driving this thing. The light output was not quite sufficient for driving in the inclement weather we had. Coming around the side, I know we've talked about how bad the tires are. They have pretty deep cracking in them, so actually we'll hopefully do that in this video. I've got a different set of wheels that I think I'm gonna put on this that will transform the look of this car. We are missing a bunch of our jack hole covers here. I think this is actually the only one we've got, and the ones for the sport package are not always the easiest to find. But we'll see what we can come up with for that, because it definitely needs some attention there. The extension tends to, we'll just say, corrode a little more quickly than the rest of the car, even though 220 chassis from up north are known to rot, especially in the bottoms of the doors, but those are actually pretty solid. This car spent a good portion of its life in California, and then I think Vegas before it went to New York or New Jersey. But, we got a nice little bubble here we might need to address. But so far, everything seems to be structurally okay. In a few minutes here, we are going to get it up on somewhat of a lift. We'll see how that's going to turn out. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but we are going to try. Now, see, back to the door lock situation is... yeah, we can't get in there right now. I did fix the trunk off camera a couple days ago, so it is working now. And it is the proper hydraulic trunk, which I need to put some batteries in our single key here. And with this old school backup camera, you can't actually reach the button to open this. So I use the blade key to do that, but look at that. That is working properly now. So when you throw your bodies in the trunk, you can close it from inside the car and make sure they don't escape. I'm not quite sure where this came from. I think it goes something to do with the TV, maybe. We got a lot to figure out with the sound system because it does not work. We have our nice big old bazooka tube here that I would like to have the sound system work. We would like some to bump some tunes while we're out driving our S-Class limousine. You can see they did some pretty serious stuff on this thing. We got dual batteries, the big old cutoff switch we mentioned, a bunch of amplifiers and stuff, which, like I said, don't seem to be working. Maybe just to swap in the radio will get us going there. We'll see, because it is quite old. But here, have a look at this. Look at that. No escapees. And again, kind of the same thing over here. We might have some body work stuff to do, but seeing underneath it will be the biggest surprise. I did also take the liberty of ozoning chlorine dioxide tablets to eliminate our cheap motel smell. So now it just kind of smells like a pool house. Here you can see our wood panel is kind of falling apart and a little mushy there. And so is our tent. You can see there's like moisture and it's peeling in there. So there was a leak at one point, which very well could have been this sunroof that has been glued shut. You can see it is a General Motors sunroof, which I thought was pretty interesting. I would like to get that working, as right now it doesn't seem to do anything at all. Other than that, in here, we did get the both partitions working, so the glass is actually still here. So you get either the solid partition, which houses our floppy television, or you get just a glass one. But that is one of the fun things of getting a car and driving it, and is some things even fix themselves and come back to life. So it's nice to see that come back to life. But now that both our partitions are working, I do need to get the intercom system fixed so that we can speak to our driver in the front of the car. And speaking of the front of the car, we'll go poke around there and see how many issues we have there also. You didn't open the door for me. Jeez. So here in the front, things are more or less normal. The battery doesn't last more than about a day or two, so been starting it every day or disconnecting the battery. Like I said, most things work up here. We do have some faults. We have a airbag fault. We have a ABS ESP fault, and right now it is complaining that the car is too low. We have a light sensor malfunction. I would like to see what some of the additional switches do in here, like our ejectocito. I don't know what that's supposed to do, as well as this random switch up here. We figured out more or less what these do. So this powers everything in the rear, and these are our two partitions. And here's our old radio that just, it doesn't fit right, and it we have no sound, so we need to fix that too. Oh yeah, our AC doesn't work either. There seems to be no Freon in the system, but we'll look at that more closely when we go inside. So I think that kind of covers most of it up here. Other than that, it's just some trim fitment and stuff like that that could use some tidying up. But with that said, let's try and get this thing in the shop and see what the underside of this thing looks like. I think that's as far as I dare push it. Come back just a tad. It's right at the limit.
Stick you something behind the tire so it don't roll.
Behind it or in front of it?
It wants to roll backwards.
All right.
Okay.
Oh. Glad we put your toolbox where we did.
Just ease it up and see what happens.
Look good?
About to make contact. All right.
Contacting?
Yep. Stop. Shake it.
It's up. It's in the air.
That is not a warm fuzzy.
It's pretty solid.
Lift pads look good on the floor. Concrete are they wobbling or anything? You're really working, you know, the bolts right now.
Just the carriage. How's that lift pad on the front one look?
It's
good here.
I pushed it back to that pinch weld. I tell you, I don't feel good about it, but I think it's okay.
Keep going.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
As far as weight, it lifts it no problem. It's not straining.
No, I think weight-wise it can handle it. I'm just worried about the balance of weight front to rear. Maybe there's too much on the rear and it's gonna pull the lift over. There's a lot of weight hanging out back here.
I was gonna say, if you put a pole jack under it and support some of the backside like we do with big trucks.
You might not be wrong, but I don't like it.
I really just want to poke around underneath is all I want. So I don't mind rolling around on a chair and not having it far off the ground. Because I get, you know, the higher you go up, the more it's pulling.
Right, you're changing the leverage. It's a good idea.
Get tranny jack and then roll around on a cart.
The jack on the cart?
Tranny jack, support it, and then roll around on a cart underneath it.
Yes.
Go another lock or so? Or you think that's a good height for the rolly chair? It's no more terrifying than some of the trucks and stuff we put on this lift.
It's more evenly distributed.
That actually gets on here really nicely. I mean, if we could go another couple of locks, it would be ideal.
I like your theory though, that the higher it goes, it's got more leverage. You're talking about another 2 feet max?
Which ain't much.
So that yellow will be here?
Yeah, I mean, even then, like, yeah. Just something right now, the rolly chair's kind of.
I'm not concerned about hurting the car. I'm concerned about the lift pulling out of the floor.
Then again, I don't think there's a lot of weight bias back there. I think we pulled it so far forward that it's pretty.
Usually the tire would be here. You want to try bumping it?
Like going up?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna grab my flashlight. If you want to do that, I'll go grab it and come back.
You don't want to be here when it falls off?
No, not really. It's so even though, like it, you know, you think you'd see more weight hanging towards the rear, but it's pretty level.
It's one more lock.
Like it looks fine,
It's one more lock.
other than the strangeness of it. We got a limo on a lift. And the reason we're so nervous is because safety is the most important thing around here. Is we don't want anyone under or around this thing if it were in an unsafe position. So rather safe than sorry, you know, measure twice, cut once kind of situation. Oh, is that the other one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
2-stage
Yeah,
hydraulic
yeah.
ram.
You hit the second ram.
Yeah, I put pressure on it and the fat ram went up, which is good. Got more metal. Still trusting an O-ring.
Which, hey, they hold more than you would think.
Yeah, it looks good. Let it down.
It don't look too bad. Oh man, it's got new thrust arms, tie rods.
Look at the shims on the tranny mount.
Oh, like on the cross member?
They shim the cross member down.
Why?
Something to do with driveline angle, probably.
Huh.
It's not bad.
Additional drive shaft stuff. She ain't too crusty.
What are those big old bolts are from? See?
And really where's the factory car end? There we go, right there.
Is that where all the brake line unions are?
Is there a bunch of them? I was waiting to see what those were gonna look like.
Oh, yeah.
She's pretty clean under here.
It ain't off. They didn't paint a lot of it, which would have saved it.
But it's just surface. It's not flowering. It's just kind of ugly.
Check out the center support, how they...
Yeah, did you see that down there? Yeah.
That situation. Oh, it's a second one. There's one here.
Yeah, there's one in the front too.
And then another.
3, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah,
Three
1,
sections?
2, 3 center support bearings.
Front support bearings, center support, and rear support bearing. Control arms have been done. Man, we got us a good unit here. And that control arm's starting to go. So what's so clunky in this right front?
I thought it was the rear.
Oh, the body panels aren't there. That's why I'm like, where'd these pinch welds come from? Go and get under here. Let's see what you think.
My shorty crawl.
I mean, the belly pan's dry. I need to, hey, look, there's a wrench.
No way.
Look at that.
I think she'd fly.
Now, all right, it's gonna fall apart when I take this out. Look at that, top tool with a U.
Amazon's best.
The other side's good.
Other side's actually, I'd say the other side's been done.
This is the clunky side. Oh. It's noisy, or it could be the strut ball joint too.
This one, you see all the rust come out?
Yeah.
Squirting out of it.
If I'm doing ball joints, you may as well do these. It's easier to leave these connected than try and separate that ball joint. Ah, Evan, every time. Uppers, I don't think I've ever done a set on a 220. Oh, look, ow, Andy had it ready to go. You use the closest tool. Closest tool is the right tool. Right, fella?
As long as you put it back.
Well, put it back.
Uh-huh. Missing a bell housing bolt.
Is it really? Why was that out of it?
Just one.
Someone put a rear main in it?
You know it.
Does that still have its cooling ducts? Oh, one of them. Not the important one. Has the passenger side. Mounts are, they're mounting. I mean, they're there. Oh yeah, someone's done a rack. They've had it down.
No, it's brand new. We did it.
It don't look brand new on this side. Starter's been done, maybe. Oh, it's a 113 rear main that ain't leaking.
That's good though.
Maybe. I don't think, I need to take it to a scale.
We can go to the scrap yard. Can we leave it there?
No. You like it, you enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, this was quality built back in the day.
You can see where they were lifting it. These are where they were lifting it here.
Yeah. Almost the same. Oh, like center to center.
So they centered the chassis on the lift.
I think what we did is actually pretty good. I mean, but look, they seam sealed it. Like, they did a good job.
They just didn't put enough paint right here. All of this rusted.
but not bad.
It's not rusted through, it's just surface. Like it was obviously painted at one time because it would be
Too bad these tires are shot. They have a lot of tread on them.
Parking brake's not connected.
Well, that would be a failure for state fuel.
There we go, it's good now, it'll pass.
We don't have that here. All right, so a rear flex disc. Is it a factory disc? Like factory style?
210 part number, Benz Star. It looks original, but the torques are almost all stripped out for the bolts.
So, I mean, 2 rear air shocks, some brakes, a couple ball joints. She's good to go.
It is in surprisingly good shape, honestly.
That's on record. Andy said something is nice.
Test. We're coming from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I expected a lot worse.
You know it's a good car if a 113 rear main isn't leaking.
Wait till you drive it for a week.
I like to do these with ball joints because instead of trying to break that loose, you just unbolt it and drive the whole thing out.
Ball joints are so expensive, people don't
At
like
least that side was an R knot. Is this one? Do you see a sticker?
There is a sticker on the back. I think it's Benz.
That one says AS, which I think is an R knot thing.
Hey, it says it was leak check.
Oh, this one's got a chicken foot. Well, the front stays up. It's the rear that is not quite content.
Their check is still valid.
Do you think there was a reason they made the ride height so much higher?
Maybe so the middle. You go over bumps because there's so much room in between the two axles. It would high center really
That
easy.
makes sense. I was thinking about lowering it back down some, but
Monster trucking all the time.
yeah, because then it makes the ride stiffer too. See how bad these rotors and stuff are? Oh, those pads are about gone too.
Yeah, those are rusted to hell.
Put some real wheels on this bad boy.
So do you have to pay extra to drive this through a car wash?
I don't know, I'm curious. But will it fit? The problem is,
It's going through 2 stages on one chassis.
yeah, it's cleaning one half and drying the
It's
other.
drying the front and soaping the rear.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Drive shaft, center support.
The Schlaft.
Schlaft.
So this is my 2004 S600. I've had this car close to 10 years now. And I actually just recently found the proper V12 wheels in the 18-inch that only came on the bi-turbo V12 models. So the 2000 to 2002 with the previous V12 did not get these wheels, but this one did, or should have, but I wanted one with the sport package bumpers. So it came originally with the wheels like on the Limo, but we think the Limo is gonna look a lot better with the V12 wheels. So we're gonna do a little switcheroo and put the nice polished V12 wheels on the Limo. I can't believe you still use an air gun for that. You need a Milwaukee. I guess it's being done for me. Look at that. Yeah, you can see our brakes have seen better days. So we are going to replace those. Oh gosh, Andy. That was a big jiggle.
Got a big hammer.
Wonder if we could find the leak in that left rear one. These really aren't bad. But they're just gone, yeah.
Yeah,
They're not bad, but they're gone.
they're dry rotted like a Michelin.
We love Michelin tires here, but that is usually what happens to them. And while Michelin actually has a cute little fancy card that says how much cracking is allowed, that doesn't give you the warm and fuzzy when you're trying to do speeds in your limousine. Oh. Evan is applying anti-sneeze or anti-seize to the hub here because a lot of times when you get corrosion like this up north and so forth, it can be hard to get the wheels off because they'll stick to the hub right here. But a little bit of anti-seize will take care of that. Don't look at my rear end, cameraman.
Like you've developed a phobia.
He is. He says he always looks at our rear end, so trying to do better. There we go. Now I got to get my extra bolt.
Where's it at?
In the car outside. But had these wheels factory, that doesn't now. I got the bolts out of it. Oh yeah. What do you say, Evan?
Ooh.
Ooh.
We're rolling in style now. This is a fancy. I like it.
Do I need to put S600 and V12 on it now?
Oh, absolutely. You got to upgrade it.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard. We just drop the subframe out of that car, put it in this one, it'd be fine, right?
Perfect.
Why?
No, just drop the subframe out of that car and move it to this
Why?
car. V12 limo. 600 horsepower of limousine.
Oh, you're talking about a motor swap.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
just
you were
swap the
saying
subframes.
I just thought you were saying the rear subframe. Like, why?
How cool would that look seeing this lay 11s down the street? Just see a cloud of smoke going behind the limousine. You want to roll the other ones over to the other car? Look at it, it's so steady. Like, it doesn't bother it a bit. It's terrifying to us, but like we said, safety first here at DC. Clear. Oh, that looks so good. Do we have enough hose to reach all these? These tires are gonna need replaced soon, but for now, they'll do. That's pretty steady. Like,
Yeah, but you couldn't go forward another foot.
Andy, I went over there for your torque wrench.
I saw you going. I was like, you figured it out.
Oh, that's mean. Gotta make sure you don't get my rear end. Oh man, the oil cap's backwards. We gotta return it. Even the valve covers are pretty dry. Belt looks good. Hey, the upper idler pulley didn't grenade on us. That was good. We got power steering fluid. We should do this before a 900-mile road trip, but you know, you get what you get. So, honestly, it's a pretty good car. Right, Andy?
It's not terrible.
We got proof the first time. Now let's see electrically, minus all the added electronics. We know that's a disaster, but we'll see what the factory computer side has to say.
It's a Benz. There'll be a stored code in every module.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. So this is our factory Mercedes scan tool. Star, DOS, Entry. It has many forms and names, but this is a DOS car, or Diagnostic Assistance System, which I think is the best system, wouldn't you, Andy? Compared to Zentry and HHT. And
DOS is great. That's what I started on. Zentry's not horrible. No, there's a lot more guided tests in Zentry than DOS.
I like all the developer mode and stuff in the DOS.
I've never tinkered with any of that stuff. So.
Yeah, he was locked out. Dealer boy. So here what we've done is a quick test, which scans every control unit in the car. And see, there's quite a few control units in here. You got to scroll to see them all, but we can filter them by just the ones with faults. But let's see how many there are. It's one. So it's 29 modules. And, oh dear, 23 out of 29 have fault codes. That's pretty standard. But let's see what we're complaining about here. Under voltage, which is normal. The battery goes dead every couple days. Some communication messages. Drive authorization, it's stored. We don't worry about that. Now here's our ESP light. Operational check for component B24-15, rotary speed and lateral acceleration sensor active. That's current, so we will have to look at that. Everything else is stored, so that's good. Critical vehicle level, yeah, we're pretty familiar with that, with the rear end falling to the ground. Bunch more stored codes. Oh goodness, lots of stored codes. None of these are important. They're all stored, so we're gonna do what our normal process is erase them all and see what returns and see what we actually need to fix. 23 out of 29 modules had faults or events.
Stored.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3 active.
OCP, that's who cares.
OCP was just the sunroof not being normalized, but it doesn't exist. So.
And CAN fault, all that wiring.
I'm surprised there's not more like CAN related issues.
PSE? Did you see it?
Oh yeah, that one's very grumpy.
Take the hike to the front.
Yes.
It feels
It
really
just
weird.
can't feel it. It's too far. You need 2 PSEs.
Back on.
Look at that, we got rid of our SRS fault. Everything was stored, so we got no more airbag faults. So we'll do a fresh one.
I can't believe you bought a limo just for the wheels.
The sensor, which we knew about for the stability control, which lives under the seat, right? We'll have to swap that over.
It was either new or super clean.
CAN bus, CAN lines interrupted. Yeah, we're not worried about that. In-car temperature sensor fan motor, that's pretty common. Rain light sensors, unhappy. Sunroof not normalized. Terminal 58D short circuit or idle speed. Does that make any sense to you? CAN, because it's not there. That's why CAN's mad. The command and stuff isn't there. And no, oh, that's right. We need to see if there's any Freon in this thing.
You won't need that for 3 more months.
But you need defrost. So, not really a lot to fix, to be honest.
So look at that. Even Andy approves that our purchase wasn't too terrible in this situation. And he got and he got to ride in it to lunch today, which was a lot of fun. So there's lots of exciting stuff in store for the limousine, but hey, look at it. It is a majestic thing. So our punch list is a little shorter than I expected, which I'm actually pretty excited about. So we can actually get to enjoying the limo more than being worried about it like we are now. But we got some safe tires. But stay tuned for the next episode where we fix pretty much everything wrong with it. I think we'll be able to get it done in one shot. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you on the next episode with the Limit.
To the club, sir.